Okay, so I'm sitting here at home right now and I'm waiting for the cable guy to come and I'm going to start dinner here soon. But there's a few things that happened today I just kind of wanted to share with you guys and my, I guess, reaction to them. So, first of all, it seemed like everybody at work today was completely had attitude problems. Like everybody woke up on the wrong side of the bed, myself included. Like I went to work in a good mood, but everybody else's attitude made me have a bad attitude. And I heard the F-bomb 17 times today. Yes, I counted. I heard it 17 times. That is ridiculous. And it wasn't from the same person. It was from like totally different people and it just drove me crazy. But that's really not what I want to talk about. Quickly, I just want to say that somebody had called me a hypocrite today. They said that I was a Christian and, well, first they said all Christians were hypocrites. They don't go to church because it's full of hypocrites. And then they said, since I was a Christian, I was a hypocrite. And, you know, I've heard that many times over my 14 years of being born again. And my answer to people who call me a hypocrite is always the same. Yep, I am a hypocrite. See, the Bible tells us to be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. It also tells us to urge one another to be perfect. It tells us to correct one another and to call each other on their junk. Like, you know, one of my other videos said we're supposed to call each other to the carpet. So we are to preach holiness. We are to live out righteousness. We are to call each other call each other on our sin. But the fact of the matter is that each one of us sins. So I can urge you and urge you and urge you to be completely holy, to be completely righteous, to be ye perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. But the fact is, I'm not perfect. I'm not always holy. I'm not always righteous. So that, by definition, makes me a hypocrite. A hypocrite is a person who says one thing but does another. Now, I am not a hypocrite on purpose. Okay, so all of you unbelievers out there, I just want you to know that we're not hypocrites on purpose. We're human. So we mess up. When I tell you, especially the people that I work with, if you're watching this and you shelter with us, when I tell you not to cuss, but in my head I'm cussing you out, yes, that's being a hypocrite. But it's still my job to make sure that the children around us don't have to hear the F-bomb. It's still my job to try and lead you in the right way to go. That doesn't mean I'm always going to make the right decisions. In fact, every single day, I don't make a right decision. You know, there's just times where I wish I could go back, or words would come out of my mouth, and the minute they come out of my mouth, I wish I could catch them and just jam them back into my mouth. The fact is that we, as Christians, are hypocrites. We are called, and we're calling other people on their sin, but we sin. So, Christians, please don't be offended if somebody calls you a hypocrite. And yes, a church is filled with hypocrites, and the number one hypocrite in there is the pastor, because they are the ones that are urging you to live a sinless lifestyle, but they don't, because it is impossible. Do you understand? It is impossible for us to live a sinless lifestyle, but it is possible for us to be righteous, not through our own right, but through the blood of Christ. So we alone, with man, it is not possible, but with God, all things are possible. So what's the point, Becky? The point is that, yeah, I'm a hypocrite, and I'll be the first one to admit it. But that does not mean that I'm going to stop urging you to live a sinless lifestyle. And the number one thing about me is that when I sin, I'm going to be the first one to admit it. I hope to be a woman after God's own heart, like David. King David was one of the worst sinners in the Bible. He was constantly sinning. He was a man of war. He was a liar. He was a cheater. He was a murderer. And if you read any of the Psalms, he was a crybaby. Like literally, the man did nothing but whine and cry. But God himself called him a man after God's own heart, because when he messed up, he admitted it and he turned from it. And he felt true sorrow for offending God. And so I hope to have that same situation. I hope that when I offend God, I have true sorrow and turn from it. That doesn't make me any less of a hypocrite, because I'm going to call you on your stuff. But I just want you to know that when you call me a hypocrite, it doesn't offend. And I hope other Christians, you don't get offended, because the fact is we are hypocrites. But it's okay. because hopefully today I'm less of a hypocrite than I was yesterday, and tomorrow I'll be less of a hypocrite than I am today, because I promise you I've sinned today. Just I'm hoping tomorrow it'll be a little less. So I just want to thank you guys for listening quickly, and I think I see the cable guy pulling up right now. Okay, you have a blessed day, and remember, being a hypocrite's not necessarily a bad thing. It just gives us something to work towards, to being a better Christian. Okay, have a great day.